On this episode, I traveled down south to investigate at a property that is notorious for having strange activity. The farmer has claimed to find many dead animals spread across his fields, gaining the name The Killing Fields. I plan on camping out here for a few days and running some audio recorders. In the past, I ran mini trail cameras, but this time I want to switch it up. The video footage from this trip will be split up into a series of shorter videos, so you guys will have to be on the lookout for that. I will be camping on the very far back corner of his property near a conservation area. I heard all kinds of strange sounds when I was camping there. I heard thumps, limb breaking, and some strange vocalizations that I can't quite describe, but it was very far off in the distance and I know I heard it. David and I found some possible structures behind the killing field near the conservation area. My goal for this trip is to simply find undisputable evidence that Sasquatch are roaming around the area. If you guys enjoy watching Sasquatch videos, then please like and subscribe, and I appreciate everybody for following along. You guys are awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We have arrived at the killing fields. David opened up the gate and we're gonna start getting set up. Hopefully get camp set up in a good amount of time so we can explore the property and have a good time, guys. What's going on, David?
How are you?
Not too bad. Excited to be off the highway. I stopped at Spooner's and they forgot my drink, so I'll have to deal with that, yeah.
You didn't go back and tell them?
No, I was already to the park when I realized.
Oh.
So I went down to David's. We got some water and some other things. I'm back at the campsite and I'm going to show you guys what I have before we set up everything. All right, so here on the table we have, let's start off with this. We're going to be using the Snug Pack cave tent. It's a pretty cool tent. It's like a 4-person tent. We have the Snug Pack pillow. We have the, not sure how to say it, Static V camo pad for the hammock. And we have a hammock blanket. That's the Snug Pack as well. Right here we have the Snug Pack jungle hammock with the mosquito net, so that'll be pretty cool. Of course I brought the bow. Killer deer hunting out here. We have a tarp here. It's the free soldier tarp off of Amazon. It's like 20-30 bucks, and you can get them in different sizes. That thing's pretty cool. This right here is a chair and it's got some molly webbing on it. But yeah, that thing's pretty cool. It's kind of like the one Tigress chair, just a little bit different, maybe a little cheaper. Here's the Expedition Sleeper Snug Pack sleeping bag. Here's the sleeping mat from Snug Pack. We got a shovel. Right here we have our audio recorders. These things are going to do work for us when we're sleeping, when we're not here. It's going to be awesome. It's nice to do research when you're not able to get out, okay? Here's another one. I used the Stealth Strip camo tape on it, which turned out really good. It's hard to see out in the woods once you get it hung up in a tree. You could easily lose this thing, guys. Easily lose it. We have the drone here, so we can do some aerials. We have the tarp for the tent. That way a stick or a rock doesn't poke through it. Of course, the old trusty camera pack. Can't leave home without it. A chair, or another chair. Here's our hunting setup, so we can get up in a tree. This is a hunting saddle, and it's going to allow me to get up in this tree and hang the audio with these climbing sticks here. These things hook around a tree and you can climb them like a ladder. The new cooler, it's alright. It's an Igloo cooler from Academy. It's okay. We got some tripods, 4th arrow, camera arm, so we can hook our camera up to the tree, a stove, and the Eberly stock backpack. That's got my clothes, the axe in it, and it's just easy to pack stuff using this. Now that you guys have seen everything that I have, let's get it all set up and get ready for this evening and this week. It's gonna be awesome, guys. Stay tuned. All right, this is amazing. Such a great feeling to be out here. I love the Missouri woods, and I always have since I was a little kid. It's such a cool feeling being out here in Reynolds County. It's amazing. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna set up this Snug Pack cave tent, and it's gonna be awesome. I've only used this tent a couple times, and from what I could tell, it was pretty cool. All right, so let's get it set up before it gets too dark, and I wanna take care of all the important stuff before we begin our expedition out here on the Killing Field property. All right, so I'm gonna pick up all these little bitty sticks and any rocks, anything that's gonna poke through my tent. I'm gonna throw all that stuff in the woods, because that's the last thing I wanna do is puncture a hole in this thing.
I set up camp in hopes that I will be prepared before the sun falls. I really hope to experience some Bigfoot activity while I'm out here. The first time I came out to David's property to investigate, there were deer all over the place, and I heard some wood knocking at the end of the killing field.
Well, I hope you guys are excited to see me out here, because I'm excited to be out here. I know a lot of people have been wanting to watch this stuff from the killing fields, so I'm out here to document more and fill you guys in on what's been going on, and hopefully we'll be able to tell a story of our own. Finally got the tent set up, at least the main part of the tent. I'm not sure if I want it facing this way or out over here. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the tent facing that way. That way I can shine my night vision down into this field to see what's going on. Oh my gosh, this new tent looks so sick. I don't know, I might leave the green off and just leave it murdered out, guys. What do you think? Black? Or should I do the full package? Let's do the full package. That way, in case it rains, we're well protected. All right, it's gonna be more work, guys, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. We're almost done, guys. I'm gonna buckle these to the actual tent itself. I should be done pretty soon. All right, she's finally up. That took a while to complete, and I'm just excited to have this thing up because it's starting to get dark. It's starting to get late. And I realized I forgot some of my warm clothes at home. So we're gonna have to do without, guys. Maybe make the fire a little bit bigger, right? Huh? I'll show you guys the inside of the tent. It's a pretty cozy tent. You guys are really gonna like it. Let's get this sleeping mat out. There's a lot of room in here. This is a tub style tent, 4-season tent, so it's gonna be perfect for the job. Here's the little mini chair. This thing's pretty cool. It's not as comfy as a big one, but it does the job. We're getting there, guys. It's taking forever, but I'm tired. We're here. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I want to get everything set up so we can get out and explore the property. I want to get out in places where we haven't been on a side-by-side, and just areas that I haven't been at before. I've started thinking that maybe some of these structures are going to be in some of those remote places on David's property that he hasn't been at. Maybe we'll find little ground structures, some rock piles, some broken limbs, possibly the big X. But it's so nice to sit down. That tent wore me out. It takes forever to set that thing up, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucks if you're in a hurry, but at the same time, it's nice. So I want to talk about the juvenile that I encountered on my property. It was really awkward because when I'd seen him, it just looked like a black blob moving through the green brush. And you could tell it was something big. It was either like a big tom gobbler or a bear or some type of hog, some type of feral hog. That's what was going through my mind at the time. And by the time I actually got a good look at this thing, I always forget to mention this detail, it seemed like it wobbled like side to side, and then I still hadn't had a good look at it. By the time I got a clear look at it, all I saw was like a big black arm go behind a tree. You can just see like this shape hide behind a big oak tree. And in my mind, I thought it was over. You know, that's it. Whatever this thing was is gone. So I'm just honed into this oak tree, and all of a sudden this thing steps out. And my mind kind of went blank when that happened. But I was staring straight into the eyes of a Sasquatch, and he didn't see me at this point. I don't know how, but he seemed to be really relaxed. Like when he stepped out, he was just kind of like puffed up and relaxed. And you can tell he was scanning the woods, and he seemed to have like these little canines, 2 little canines sticking out from the top down, like a vampire almost. But they were dental white. They were so white. And his eyes, they were probably about that big around. And you could see a lot of the white in its eyes, and you could see like black pupils. You know, they were probably smaller than a dime, but they had this shine to them, or this glare, kind of like if you look at I don't know, like a baby's eyes, how white they are and glossy. That's how this thing's eyes looked. And he looked innocent. He didn't look evil at all. But the best way to describe how he looked is he basically looked like a gorilla with a really elongated head, like that. And down here is his face. But he was all jet black. Like if you ever seen a house cat that's really ink black, really nice fur that has like a shine to it, that's how this thing was. And it's kind of comparable to a black bear cub. Just a really nice coat. He had long and thin lips, no neck basically. It was just like a football player with like a cone-shaped head. But yeah, he looked like a gorilla, and it kind of looked like the little baby gorillas in Tarzan that get into the camp and tear everything up. I don't know. I think it's the one that Rosie O'Donnell does the voiceover for. But that's what it looked like. It had like a really big head, and the same way its arms had like this matted look to them, kind of like a Christmas tree, its head had that same look, but the hair was, going up. But at the very top of this thing's head, I remember, here's like a detail I want to share with everyone. When you look like at a skyscraper in a city, like your eyes have to scan it because it's so big. Well, whenever I looked at this thing's face, as I was like looking at its skull, I remember scanning its head, like with my eyes. It wasn't just one quick look. And I guess it's hard to describe because it's something that the human eye has never seen before. But it seemed like my eyes were scanning this thing because there was a lot to look at. But yeah, the head above the eyes was probably, it's hard to say. Okay, so here's the size of its head right here, probably like this. And from here up is probably, I would say, about a foot. I know that's hard to believe, but this thing had a lot of brain, and that's what shocked me. Another detail that I noticed was when this thing was looking off in the distance, as I was looking at its big, let me zoom out real quick. As I was looking at this thing's big cone-shaped head, he was kind of chilling out there, just checking things out, like I said, scanning the woods, and the wind kind of picked up. You could see like the beams of the sun hitting its head, and you could see the shine in its hair. But when the wind picked up, you could see like the hair, blowing in the breeze, just kind of waving back and forth. But that let me know it was a real creature. Like, that was flesh and blood. That wasn't some type of spirit. What I was looking at was a real living creature that lives out in the Ozarks of Missouri. But when he stepped out, like I said, he was scanning the woods, and there's no neck turn. Like, he turned like that. But when he saw me, his eyes got really big, and like he panicked. You could tell like it really freaked him out that he was looking at a human being. And I think he was more freaked out than I was, just because the look in his face, just, oh my God, like you saw a ghost basically. After that happened, it seemed like he reacted really quick. Like he knew what to do. Like, yeah, he freaked out, but then it was like boom, and he shot down, and he was gone. Like when he shot down, it was like this, just like, oh my gosh. I keep hearing these limbs snap back there, but I'm not sure if it's like big clumps of acorns falling, hitting all the leaves and stuff. It's hard to say. The wind's blowing a little bit, but anyways, yeah, when this thing shot down, all I saw was like, I don't know if it was poison ivy or just some type of underbrush swaying back and forth. And I looked around this oak tree that was about 30 yards in front of me. That's where he was. He hid behind this oak tree about 30 yards in front of me, and he was just gone. I looked to the left, to the right of the oak tree, and there's just nothing. You didn't even hear him take off or anything. Like when he did that, you heard, that's it. You didn't hear like an animal shoot through the woods and disappear. And that's another detail as well. A really important detail is the fact that he was able to get out of there really quick. It doesn't matter if they're 20 feet in front of you. And it really made sense how they move around us in the woods. I mean, they're literally like dodging around the trees. I know that sounds crazy to anyone who's listening to this, but that's what I experienced. And I'm not going to deviate from what I experienced and what I seen. I sent David a message earlier. I told him to come on up. So hopefully he gets here pretty soon. Maybe we'll go out and get some food and look for some Sasquatch. What's going on?
Hello there. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, I encountered problem number 1.
You did?
Yeah, I left my hunting camo at home. I got everything I need to hunt though. I got the saddle, I got my bow, I got the rangefinder, the release, I got everything.
Except for your hunting camel.
Yeah, and it's got some of my warm clothes in there, but man, that thing's warm. That thing's a 4-season tent and that sleeping bag's really warm. But I got like a jacket and stuff.
Has it got a floor in it?
Yeah, it's got like a tub style floor. That way like it never gets wet even if it gets submerged and stuff like that.
No snake can't crawl in with you.
No.
Well, the old armadillos are out.
Really?
Yeah.
I was hearing some tree snaps behind me. It sounded like it. I heard like one limb snap, but I think those squirrels are getting at it. I heard one squirrel kind of going off later on. But who knows? Hopefully they're around.
Right there.
What's that?
I said you can burn that thing right there. That's what they brought it up here for.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that.
Just
I looked at it though.
kind of lay it over the fire whenever you, and as it burns, just pull it on over it.
Okay. Well, what's the plan for tonight? Do I just chill and take it easy, or do we film tonight?
It's up to you.
Well, I'm definitely gonna
Linda's
film.
she's making sloppy joes
Okay.
and French fries, so they'll be done here in a little bit.
Okay. Should I go in town to get something to eat, or
No,
you saying I can come over?
I'm saying
Okay.
she's making it for me and you. And
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I was gonna be like, all right, I'm coming over and I'm gonna eat it all. But yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it, David.
we can shut and lock the gate. Jason,
Yeah.
I read Jason's post, and he posted he's gonna bring it tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna set up right there behind that persimmon tree or right in front of it, but I was like, man, where would he turn around at if I put it right there? So I set up over here.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to bring dirt one day and put it there, or some type of like mulch. It needs like grass and or like leaves, you know.
Yeah, it's too shady right
Mhm.
there for. It's good when it's hot to put tent because it's gonna be shady all day right there, but
Yeah.
it won't grow no grass
Mhm.
because it's too shady.
Yeah.
David and I discussed the possibility of seeing a Sasquatch run across the road, and he mentioned the time that it would take to pull out my camera, focus in, and record on the individual. It would be gone. And I agreed with him, just because animals are so fast and it's going to happen when you least expect it. There were many animals on this trip that ran in front of us on the road, and I just couldn't get my camera out in time to record it. The best approach would be record nonstop everywhere you go, but that's just not possible at this moment.
So you've been seeing deer back here?
Yeah, last night I seen 4 or 5
Yeah.
back here.
Start recording.
Is it recording?
Yeah. Where should we put it at? I'm kind of liking that one.
Okay. Woo! You see the scrape over here?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's like, what would you say, 7 or like 8 or 9 feet?
Oh
Probably
yeah, that's 9 or 10 feet anyway.
Yeah. Should be a good spot. Unless we can find something better. I don't know, you think that tree's probably better over there, don't you think? The one that you pointed out earlier?
I don't know. I think it'd be all right right where you got it.
Yeah, I can hear crows over there going off, so it should be pretty good. Should we mark it on the maps?
You might ought to, so you don't forget.
Yep. Put up another audio recorder and see what type of nature sounds we can capture. Let's go. Yeah. Well, I think it's a good spot because I could hear those crows going off way over there in that other field. So it should capture the killing field. I mean, we got to put one in the killing field. That's like the name of the place. So maybe, I mean, that's pretty close to my camp, and plus I got another recorder up there.
Yeah.
So I can set one up later.
Well, that's where you're at now.
I hate it when stuff happens
You're in the killing field.
and I wasn't recording.
Yeah.
So if I have one going near my camp, like, oh, did you guys hear that? And I can go back and
Yeah.
show it. It's hard to have the camera rolling 24/7.
Well, my fence is completely down right there.
Oh boy. Be some deer coming through there. Hogs, Sasquatch.
This is the killing field.
Yeah.
I figured them cows was up here.
I guess not today.
Well,
Hopefully we see a monster buck out there in the Current River area.
if I get this cast off my foot tomorrow, I'll take you over the river and we'll go up the river in the boat if you want to.
Yeah, it's up to you. I'd hate to leave my stuff for too long.
But we have to put your stuff up.
Yeah. I can pick up that tent. It's not like connected to the ground. It's really light, so I can pick it up and move it down in the woods need be. Or it's not out in the open.
There's the cows.
Yeah. They don't like to go all the way back here.
No,
Not all the time.
they're over there. That one's over there where them hedge apples at. I don't like for them to eat very many of them things. It makes them sick. The only thing that ain't poison is the seeds.
Oh, really?
Them hedge apples.
Well, I'm gonna bring one home, keep the spiders away.
They're a natural, what do you call it?
Pesticide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
insecticide. I'm gonna have to fix my
That's just
road here.
straight up. There we go. Oh boy, it's getting dark quick, isn't it?
Is in the woods.
So what's this trail called? Trail 12?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that guy said it was by this big oak tree by a pond right off Trail 12. And I remember passing that. You know-
Usually, they camp on the other end of it, which
Oh,
is
that's why
on
you're-
around the
yeah.
curve. Yeah.
So you don't spook whatever
Yeah.
they got going on. Yeah, this is some nice timber.
His place is right at the end of this trail right here. You can almost see his place.
Yeah.
you been at this end of Trail 12?
No, I didn't even know this existed. You ever see any monster bucks out here? You know how many arrowheads are probably in this stuff?
Think?
I think so. You'd have to sift through it, or pan through it. A lot of big cedars in here.
Oh yeah. There's another food plot right over there.
That's a lot of food for the deer. A lot of agriculture. Like the Mark Twain, it don't have any food plots, not really.
Oh really?
It's all solid pines for the most part.